Have you ever wondered about the stories untold, the heroes unseen during the tumultuous times of World War II? When we think of World War II, our minds often drift to the soldiers who fought bravely on the front lines. Yet, behind those lines, there was another battlefield, a home front teeming with unseen heroes. Theirs were not the tales of combat, but of resilience, of sacrifice, of unity. The home front during World War II was a mosaic of experiences, diverse in their nature, yet united in their purpose. From the factory worker manufacturing ammunition, the child selling war bonds, to the farmer feeding the nation, each individual played a critical role. They were the gears that kept the great machine of war in motion. As we delve into these untold stories, we realize that every person was a cog in the great machine of war. Picture this: a young woman, barely out of her teens, trading her dress for overalls. She's not attending a costume party. No, she's stepping into a world previously dominated by men. The factory floor. The year is 1942, and she's joining an army of women, driven by a sense of duty, stepping up to support the war effort. Her days are filled with the hum of machinery, the smell of grease and metal, the weight of the tools in her hands. Her body aches, her hands blister, but she perseveres. She's not just building planes or tanks, she's building a future. She's proving that women are as capable, as necessary as their male counterparts. Her victories are not marked by medals, but by each completed product, each contribution to the war effort. She was one of many, their hands, hearts, and hopes fueling the fight from miles away. Imagine a young boy, his hands full of war bonds instead of toys. This isn't a typical tale of childhood whimsy, but a story of resilience and tenacity during World War II. Picture this boy, barely old enough to grasp the enormity of the conflict yet deeply entrenched in its reality. His playground, the bustling streets, selling war bonds. His understanding of the situation was as profound as it was innocent. He knew he was doing something important, something that could help bring his father, his uncles, and his neighbors home from the far-flung battlefields. The war bonds he sold were more than just pieces of paper. They were lifelines, symbols of hope and solidarity. This experience no doubt colored his childhood, but it also shaped his life. It taught him about sacrifice, about the power of unity, and about the price of freedom. In his own small way, he was a soldier too, fighting the war with his spirit and determination. Visualize a farmer, his fields stretching out, a lifeline to those at home and abroad. Imagine a man, not clad in military uniform but in worn denim overalls, his hands calloused from long hours gripping the handle of a plow. This is the story of a farmer, a man who worked from dawn to dusk, tilling, sowing, and harvesting. His mission was not to fight on the front lines, but to feed a nation in the throes of a global conflict. He was the backbone of the home front, producing the food which sustained soldiers and civilians alike. His task was not without its challenges. Labor shortages, rationing, and the pressure to increase production marked his every day. But his commitment never wavered. He understood the crucial role he played in sustaining the nation, his contribution as vital as any soldier's. His fields were his battlefield, his produce the ammunition feeding a nation at war. These stories, diverse as they are, share a common thread of resilience and sacrifice. Each narrative we've shared, from the tireless factory worker to the child selling war bonds, paints a vivid picture of the collective effort that defined the home front during World War II. These individuals, often overlooked in the grand scheme of the war, played integral roles. The factory worker, producing the necessary tools and equipment, was the backbone of the war effort. The child selling war bonds represented the unity and shared sacrifice of the entire nation. The farmer, tirelessly working the land, ensured that despite the war, the nation was fed. These stories remind us that war is not just fought on the front lines but also on the home front. The resilience, sacrifice, and collective effort of these unseen heroes were paramount to the outcome of World War II. As we remember World War II, let us honor not just those who fought on the front lines, but also those who held the fort at home, the unseen heroes of the home front.